So the other day, out of nothing better to do, I thought I'd go through my Roberts Radio collection, and I first started collecting these about 20 years ago, mainly from car boot sales, and there was one in Gloucester which was the best one for miles around, and it was in the Old Castle Market, and it was enormous, this car boot sale. It used to take at least an hour to walk round it. Sadly that's all gone, and it's now a big shopping centre. But anyway, I was thinking about these Roberts radios, and they've been sitting around doing nothing for years and years and years. So I thought it's time to liquidate my stock and find the best ones, because a lot of them are really tatty and not worth selling. Find the best ones, tart them up a bit, make sure they all work, and then get them on eBay hopefully. And this is the first one I looked at. It's a Roberts Rambler, and it's in pretty good condition, in rather a nice colour, white, and it's got a bit of a yellowy stain there, but it's not too bad. And this one I've given a good clean up. I've took it to pieces. I've changed all the capacitors in it because they were looking a bit old and the ESR was a bit high on them. And I've also T-coiled the side panels and the other side panel, and this one seems to work fairly well. I'll turn it on.
Where did I get PSV? Come on. Oh, from the Netherlands, I think.
That's Radio 5
is the score,
and not much.
They've been through a tough time recently with
few more
Briscoe.
stations. And we go to long wave. That'll be RTE, Irish Radio.
Black lights seem to not matter as much as white lights. Right, so in this country, you're twice as
Radio
likely to
4.
die in police custody if you're black.
I don't think there's much more on long wave. A lot of stations have closed down.
You're white.
So really that is in a fit condition to sell, I think. There's hardly any scratching on the knobs. All the knobs look pretty clean. So what I'll do now is I'll just show you the next one I did. I get the battery pack out. I tend to use AA batteries and put them in a battery holder rather than the PP9, because PP9s are expensive, and I think these alkalines probably last a lot longer. So here's the second one I've done, and I've given this a thorough clean up and checked some of the capacitors, and they weren't too bad. This, by the way, is a Rambler 2, Roberts Rambler 2. Now they differ in the fact that they use two ICs instead of just transistors, and this is a much more sensitive radio, probably because of the extra amplification they've got in the ICs. But this one is almost perfect as well. I don't think there's a scratch at all on the front grille. Maybe a bit of scratching on the Roberts badge, and the handle is absolutely perfect, absolutely perfect. And the back has hardly any imperfections. Again, I've T-coiled the sides, or I might give them another coat. So yeah, and this one is one you can plug in external power supply into, 9-volt power supply, which I believe is center negative. Yes, it is. So let's stick a battery in this one. and see how much better this one works. That's on long wave, and that's RTE, which is much louder than the other previous one was. I might jack the tripod up a bit.
Very different to that of
Radio
its
4.
white counterparts.
A lot of noise in this room. We've got the laptop power supply not far away. This is causing trouble. But there we are. And medium wave. Not much down the low end of medium wave.
Follow the killing in America of George Floyd in police
Radio
custody.
5.
The Home Secretary, Priti Patel, has urged people not to take part.
It was also concerned about
Protesters are being urged not.
So this is a lot more sensitive than the Mark 1 Rambler.
Speak over it.
It's also got a tone control, which doesn't seem to do much, but at least it's there, I suppose.
Hospitals weren't consulted or warned before yesterday.
So there you go, that's a Roberts Rambler 2, and that is virtually ready to stick on eBay. I don't expect to get too much for either of these radios, but I wasn't using them, and I probably never would use them again. And I guess the main disadvantage with the Ramblers is they don't have VHF, no FM, so more and more medium wave stations are being turned off at the moment. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be somebody out there who'd like one of these in almost mint condition. So we'll just have another look at some of the other ones I've got, which are in this room. Alright, we'll just have a quick look at some of the others I've got on top of the Palmet. I think on the end is an R300, and most of these are pretty awful condition, so they wouldn't be worth selling. There's an might be a RIC1, that one. Not RIC1, RT1, the first transistor one they did. Next to it, I'm not sure. I'm not going to drag it down because they're all covered in filth, dust. And next to that is a Rambler, Roberts Rambler. Then that might be a 404, I'm not sure, without dragging it down. As I said, they're so dusty, because they've been up there probably 15 years without being cleaned. And there's one on the end, I'm not sure what that is. And what else we got? Oh, we've got a couple here. We've got an R200 in green, which is fairly tatty again, and this one is not in very good. This is a R800 without an aerial, and also very tatty. And on the other side of the room we've got another, I think, Rambler with no handle, and another Roberts Rambler which is not very good condition, I think. And then we've got an RT1, and I forget the model that is, but it's tatty as hell. And another big one which I do not know. I'm not going to drag it down. And a mustard one on the end, which I think is in fairly good condition. I've forgotten its model number, but there you go, that's just a few of them. And there's some more upstairs which I won't bore you with. So I'm going to go out to the workshop now and show you the other Rambler 2 I'm working on at the moment. Okay, so this is the other Rambler 2, and this one is again in almost perfect condition. I'm not sure if there's any damage to the tops of the knobs, but I won't know until I've given them a good clean. But virtually no scratching on the plastic, and can't really see any damage to the grill. There's the odd speck of paint or something that comes off. Okay. Back's got a bit of black at the top there. That might wash off, but I don't know. It might come off with alcohol, who knows. But well, I'm going to take it apart anyway, and I've already got the screws out of it. So I need to check the capacitors and disconnect the speaker, of course. Oh, I forgot. You've got to take out the socket for the external power supply, and I know that this piece of plastic is cracked and this piece is missing, which is a shame, but that's probably the worst damage on the radio. There's no way I can do much about that. I mean, I could cut a piece of plastic to fit in there, but there again, it wouldn't have the markings for tell you the polarity. So I'm going to take this in the house in a minute and give it a thorough clean. Before I do that, I'm going to take the handle off, which is fairly fiddly. Oh well, there it goes. There's some little, can't get the light right, some little clips which you've got to prise up with a pair of long-nosed, well, not so long-nosed pliers, and then you get these clips off, and then you can take the handle off. They're a bit of a bugger, these, sometimes, to get them off. Right, that's off. Now the handle will come out quite easily, and that makes it easier to clean the handle. And also when I'm T-coiling this, it makes it much easier to do that. So that can go to one side, and then I'll clean these as well, and also the knobs. But I was going to have a look at the first of all, what will I do first of all? I'll turn it on first of all and see how it sounds. Speaker's loose. The power supply on. And connect positive on there. Long wave.
He wanted to see a relative. He didn't say who, but he said it was important. Had he been afraid of returning to Cuba?
Volume controls. Hardly a scratch on the volume control, but I'll put a bit of switch cleaner in that. And
well, and ibuprofen. I had a phone call.
Good, thanks. How was your golf? Let's just put it like this, okay? I've seen a lot on the left-hand side.
No, not much wrong with that. Take its bloody knobs off. And that can come off. And these come off fairly easily, mostly. So that one doesn't want to come off. Right. Bit of discoloration. Now, Graham Radio Cruncher, he managed to successfully peel this off and turn it round where you get a perfect blue background, and I might have a go at that later. It's obviously had ultraviolet, which has made it go brown. And what was I going to do with this then? I was going to check a few of the capacitors, but if they're not too bad, I won't bother changing them. What's that big one there then? That's put the soldering iron on. 1000 microfarad. So I'll just pause while I wait for the soldering iron to heat up. Okay, soldering iron's hot. So positive to this side, I think. Negative to that side. Positive to the bottom. And I don't use a solder sucker, I just heat them up and pull them out. But there is a risk doing this that you can damage the PCB. It's just an easy way to get capacitors out. I think they've stuck this one down with glue as well. Yes, they have. Okay, so there's me 1000. It's 16 volt. And they've actually marked on the board. That's good. Positive and negative on the board. Right. Get in the LCR meter. Negative. $950. That's not too bad. Let's try ESR. 0.06. Well, you can't do much better than that, can you? On an old capacitor. So I'm not going to replace any of these capacitors. I'm just going to leave them as they are because the radio works fine. And I'm just going to shove this one back in again once I've cleared that hole out. I see a lot of people doing videos on electronics and they just automatically replace every capacitor, no matter whether it's good or bad or what. Just because it's an old capacitor, it doesn't mean it's going to be that bad, especially in something like a radio. If it's in a switch mode power supply, then there's every chance that it will be bad. Some of them will be bad because some of these switch modes are in TVs and whatever and left in standby mode for years and years, and they do tend to fail. Anyway, let's put this one back where it belongs. And that's that. What else do I need to do? I think I need to spray some switch cleaner in the volume control. And on the other one I did, I was quite successfully getting switch cleaner to go through here and inside the switch. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Right, that's done. The tone control on the end. Our long medium wave. Strangely, they've got a coil missing. I wonder what that did. And a few other bits missing. Couldn't get any information on this when I looked on the internet, a circuit diagram or anything like that. Apart from somebody who would sell me one, but I'm not going to spend money on it. Getting a circuit diagram. The other thing that was a bit, I think was a bit dodgy, was that little, yeah, they're a bit dodgy. Speaker wires. Might have to have a go at those. I think I did that off camera. So I think it's into the kitchen next to get the case and knobs and everything cleaned up. Right, case of the radio and all the other bits have been washed and are drying. Managed to get this bit off and move it, turn it upside down. It's not in perfect condition, but when you put this on top, I don't think you can see any blemishes. I don't know whether it looks better or not like that. But anyway, it's better than it was. At least it's not horrible brownish colour. And that's good. So what have I got to do now? I've got to fix up the speaker wire, which has virtually fallen off. So I'll put that to one side and have a look at these things, which look a bit tutty. What to do with those? They're sort of crimped, aren't they? I think I'll have to do that off camera. So this is where we got to. I've redone the speaker wires, which are falling off, and what am I going to do? I'm going to do an IF alignment. I believe I am anyway. I'm going to try. It probably doesn't need doing, but I thought I might as well do it just for something to do, really. So what I've got is, I managed to find out that the IF on the Rambler 2 is 468 kilohertz. That's the only information I can find about this radio. That was on the Radio Museum website. So what I've done is I've set my signal generator to 468 kilohertz with 50% AM modulation, and I'm connected my signal generator to this ferrite rod aerial. I'm on the long wave coil because it's the nearest you're going to get to 468 kilohertz, and so I'm loosely coupling to the radio via that coil. So if I turn the thing on, and hear a tone, and a very annoying tone. That'll be 1 kilohertz, of course. So I'm pretty sure that these are the IF transformers, only 2 of them. So if I give them a bit of a tweak, that's good. That's it. That's the IF alignment done. Not sure about the RF alignment. Turn that noise off. bloody noise off. It's annoying me now.
Mark 2. Yes.
What am I on? Long wave I want to be on.
In terms of the incidence of disciplinaries, in terms of coordination and visible leadership in the NHS. What organisations have failed to do is to adequately respond to the evidence that they have been amassing over a 5-year period. So in essence, organisations in the NHS have a 5-year dossier of evidence of how racism has manifested in their organisations, and what the Equality Act 2010 says is that when we find evidence of racism and discrimination, that we are obligated by law to do something about it.
Just try medium wave.
It's 08085 909
I think that's right.
Kenny is with us, psychologist.
That's Radio 5. That will be on the old Radio 2 frequency.
Really big.
I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. This there are some adjustments on the capacitor, but I'm reluctant to touch those, so I think I'll just leave it like it is. Although I could. What could I do? Put it on 1,000. I'll put it on 1,000, and then I inject 1 megahertz in the RF generator. It'll take a while to warm up because it has to go through all this silly software stuff before I can use it. Right. Anyway, area frequency 1. Oh no. We call area frequency 1 megahertz, and I'm still loosely coupling via this ferrite rod. It's very slightly out. We'll go back to that coil again. That's dead on 1,000 there. So that's basically all I need to do now, I think. Turn that racket off. I think just gotta wait for everything to dry really, and then I'll do the T-coiling on the cabinet. Okay, so the radio's all back together, and unfortunately it didn't come out as well as I might have hoped. I couldn't get rid of the damage to the knob, if you can see that. Ow. No amount of cleaning would get that scratching off, so that's permanent it seems. Same with the other knob for the tuning. Sadly, I couldn't get that perfect. The buttons are not too bad. Cases come out pretty good. Only thing that lets it down really is not that side. This side with the cracked plastic around the 9-volt input jack. I'm still quite tempted to try and find a piece of plastic and make something, although it won't have the lettering on it. What else to say about it? Oh yeah, I got rid of 90% of the black marks that were up on there, came off with alcohol. I was rubbing it quite hard, and any more than I did would have taken off some of the colouring, I think. So that's about the end of the radio, I guess. Still works, of course.
Behind closed doors. It is possible to persuade everyone the FAI
RTE.
And oxeye daisies would be a lovely addition
Gardener's
as well.
Question
And
Time
also add in
on
things
Radio
like
4.
sedums, which are quite good for
Medium wave.
So Guillaume Balaguer and Julien Laurent are with us. Guillaume, back.
The best way that I can describe it while you're talking, you sort of feel a bit...
Baker Street. Jerry Rafferty.
To make you become one.
So there you are. It's working. It's not as good a condition as the other one I did in red. Whether it'll be worth much, I don't know. But I think the next step is stick them all on eBay, all three of them. We'll see how it goes. So there you go. That's my video on Roberts Ramblers. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.